Let's talk about the presidential election in France. It's real and it's becoming a four-way contest. So you've got the far-left candidate as one of the main protagonists there. Melenchon has been gaining in the polls, catching up with the Republican François Fillon. Melenchon's rise is creating uncertainty over the outcome of the race, which is now a matter of weeks away. Joining us from Paris is Sophie Rauszer, the France Unbowed political advisor, and she's a supporter of the French presidential candidate Jean-Luc Melenchon, and she's currently the spokeswoman in charge of European issues. Sophie, bonjour. Thank you so much for joining us today on Daybreak. Melenchon is in the ascendant. Where is he getting the most support from? Where is this renaissance coming from?
I would say from everywhere, really. We are doing a happy campaign. This is why it is working. We are far, far from all the pessimistic pictures that some of the candidates are giving. So this is a very grassroots movement we are trying to install in France, way far away from the traditional political party stuff.
Unbowed, France Unbowed, that seems to be unyielding, to be defiant. Is that a happy campaign?
Yes, it's a victorious campaign. Like to not kneel down and to say no, for example, to current EU politics is something that is very is motivating, pushing you forward, and to bring back the best of the French values such as liberté, fraternité, égalité, has to prove that this has some meaning, and that Jean-Luc Melenchon, our best spokesperson, is the one, symbolizing best that values.
You talk of Melenchon not wanting to leave the single currency or the EU straight away, but wanting the EU to change. Is Melenchon's ambition to take France, or to propose that France leaves the EU, is that his ultimate ambition?
Absolutely not. Our ambition is to change Europe for the better, for a better cooperation between our people, but also because we all agree, left or right, or from different parties or basic citizens, we all agree on one point: current EU is not working, even in terms of economy. I was seeing previously on your channel the different pictures and figures and curves about the growth back in the US. I mean, I can tell you something for sure here. Our problem is not inflation, is the lack of inflation. We would need a little kick in the economy. So basically what we want is plan A, to rebuild a different Europe. And plan B, if that doesn't work, we want to launch new types of cooperation and struggle of forces with Brussels.
France seems, Sophie, to have been hit hardest of any EU nation by radical Islamic terrorism. What would Mélenchon do about that? And as far as, for example, the borders and the Schengen Agreement?
I think the border issue is probably one of the last point when you look at this policy. You need to look at the broader picture here. The broader picture is many Western, let's say, Western countries having made or currently making some intervention in foreign countries that is disturbing these countries, and people are fleeing away. Then you also have the free trade agreements the European Union is making all over around the world, and especially Africa. So in the upcoming years, the migration challenge is here to stay. But you can definitely not build higher walls and always higher walls. You need to start by the roots of the problem, and the root is the foreign intervention and the free trade agreements.
Just briefly, Mélenchon didn't go on a joint ticket with Hamon, and part of that was a difference in opinion on EU, their view in terms of the EU. What is the top issue for Melenchon in terms of change? Crystallise what he wants change first and foremost from the EU.
We want to bring back some democratic sovereignty. That's, in a nutshell, what I would say. But then on the joint ticket issue with Hamon, that was one, you're right, this was one of the points that was making the joint ticket difficult, because Benoît Hamon only has a plan A and no plan B. To take a concrete example, how do you do social harmonization currently in the European Union in the EU 28 or in EU 27 with some complete different economical structures? It's absolutely impossible. And you also have some Eastern countries that are absolutely opposed to this. They prefer to enjoy some kind of social dumping within the EU market.